Nina. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be using the Concord & 9th Hello Lovely stamp set, and I'll show you how to do some halftone color stamping. This technique is done using a variety of stamps included in the Hello Lovely stamp set, and is a really fun way to quickly color in stamped images. Now, before I get started on the video, I do want to mention that today's video is part of the Tonic Studios and Lollyrot Scrapbooking blog hop collaboration. This blog hop is special because it is the Stamp Around the World blog hop. Tonic Studios is sponsoring the hop, so there is a special surprise bundle that you can win as part of this hop, so be sure to head on over to my blog to learn how you can enter into this giveaway. The basis of this blog hop is for everyone participating to make a card. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send those cards that we made to people around the world. I want to make mine extra special, so what I'm going to do is from everybody that comments on my blog post over at my blog, a link is in the video description, I'm going to draw a random winner to receive this card, and then you can go ahead and send it on to someone that you know. So again, all the details for how this works is over at my blog, so make sure you go ahead and check that out. Alright, so to get started on my card, first I want to show you the Tonic Studios and Tim Holtz stamp positioner. This is very similar to the Misty stamping tool for those of you that have that. This is coming out in June. They did make some adjustments to the design, so they did have to move back the release date a little bit. So they will be shipping in June. In the meantime, I want to go ahead and show you the stamp press and how versatile it is for creating cards such as this one today. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my flower image from the Hello Lovely stamp set onto a piece of white cardstock. I'm pressing this down really well, and one of my favorite features about stamp positioners such as this one and the Misty is that you can re-stamp your images as many times as you need to if you don't get it pressed down or as dark as you'd like, especially with black ink. Black ink is very hard to get a very dark impression. So I'm stamping this multiple times to create the dark impression that I need for my stamping. Another great feature about this stamp positioner is that you can use the lid here and take it off if you'd like to. And it's also able to be turned around and used for rubber. So clear, right now I have it on the clear side, but you could turn it around and use it on the other side for rubber stamps because the depth is different. So that way you can use it for either clear or rubber stamps. Now many of you have asked for a video talking about stamp positioners, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Very soon I'll be posting that so you can learn more about the Tonic Studios stamp positioner and the Misty and figure out which one works best for you. I want to get started on this card though, so I'm going to go ahead and pull out the Hello Lovely. And the Hello Lovely has a bunch of really beautiful halftone images, and halftone is basically an image created from a series of dots to create light and dark areas. So this Hello Lovely set has quite a few of these, and I'm going to be using them to color in my outlines here. Now you could watercolor this image or color it with Copics, but I think it's really fun to be able to use these solid images to create the really beautiful halftone coloring effect. So I'm going to stamp the largest flower image on top of my flower outline using some Hollyhock ink from Simon Says Stamp. Now I want to go ahead and start stamping some of the leaves. I'm going to be using some very rudimentary masks. I'm just using some post-it notes that I've ripped up. Because these halftone images are very loose in their format, they almost remind me of a watercolor impression. I'm not worried about having the masks be perfect. I don't care if they overlap some of the flower. I actually like that effect. I just don't want the leaf in this particular case. It's much larger than the leaf that is showing underneath the flower. I don't want it to be covering the entire flower, so I want to mask off some of that area. Now for this yellow image for the flowers, I didn't bother masking that off. I liked how it overlapped with the pink color and created a neat orange tone. I did end up doing some masks for the smaller green leaves, and I used both willow, green apple, and jelly bean inks for the variety of different sizes of leaves. There's a few different sizes of leaf images. Here I'm pulling in this little double leaf stamped image. Then for these other flowers, I'm going to be using some purple ink. This is Hot Mama, and it really looks nice against the yellows and pinks. Now bear in mind that the stamping does look a little bit splotchy and dark right now, but it will even out and smooth as the ink dries, so keep that in mind. So I'm going to reposition the lid of my stamp platform back into place, and I had not removed that outline image off of the stamp. And because I did all of my stamping on the base of the platform, that allows me to go ahead and just plop that lid back on place, and I can stamp the black outline back over top of my stamped images once again. And it's going to be in the exact same place. This was why I went ahead and did all of my stamping on the platform's base, because this allows me to, again, do this effect where I'm going ahead and adding that final layer of black ink on top. So after my coloring was done, I'm bringing in one of the sentiments from the Hello Lovely stamp set. Because this card is going to be sent to a variety of different people, I want to use a very generic sentiment. So I'm just going to use the word hello. I thought this really looked nice with the simple feel of the card, and the beautiful simple font matches really nicely with that feel. I'm bringing in some white embossing powder, and I'll go ahead and heat set that sentiment. Then I'm going to trim this down with my Tonic mini trimmer. This is the Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer. It comes in a variety of different sizes. I have both the 8-inch and this mini one, and I love them both. They both work very well for trimming things down, especially the small one. For when I have small pieces like this sentiment, it's so much easier to bring this out instead of my big Fiskars trimmer or the 8-inch Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer. So after I've gone ahead and trimmed down my sentiment, I adhered that down with a bit of foam tape, and I trimmed down my stamped panel just a little bit. I'm going to mount this on top of some purple cardstock that matched the sentiment, and this is going to help mat it. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use pink card base or a yellow card base, and I ended up choosing a yellow one, so you see the pink one there. After I've matted this, I trimmed it down in my mini trimmer once again. Again, this is another example of why I love this mini trimmer. I can just grab this when I need to trim something down very quickly, and I can get really nice, beautiful cuts. So to add some dimension, I'm going to use some white cardstock and cut 3 pieces of that white cardstock into little rectangles. And that's going to allow me to layer these 3 together and add them to the back side of my flower stamped panel. The reason I'm doing this is because I wanted to add some dimension and lift off of the card base, but I didn't want something as thick as fun foam or double-sided adhesive. So by layering a few pieces of cardstock, I can get that dimensional effect, but not quite as dimensional as if I had used the fun foam or the foam tape, and that makes it easier to mail. Before I attach that to my card base though, I want to ink up that flower stamp once again from the Hello Lovely set. I'm inking it in some yellow ink so I can stamp this down onto my yellow card base and create a tone-on-tone background. Again, I'm using my stamp platform to help me get this stamped really well. And because the stamp platform has such a large footprint, it allows me to fit this big stamp onto my card very easily. And I have plenty of room to work around the stamp overlapping the card base. Now I'm going to make sure that I get a good covering along the edges with this stamp. I'm not worried about the center of the card having some of the stamped images overlap because nobody's going to see that. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that just the edges are getting a really nice clean stamping, and then the middle doesn't really matter because it's going to get covered up with my flower panels. So I adhered that down onto my card base to create this really nice beautiful layering of color. This is a really bright and happy card, and you can see how that stamping really evened out, and the stamping looks just so beautiful, and that halftone coloring really adds some interest. So my final detail, I want to bring in some Tonic Studios Nouveau Crystal drops. I'm using the gloss drops here. I've got both dandelion yellow, the darker and lighter purple colors, and also pink. And I'm layering these over top of some of the black dots to create beautiful color. These gloss drops dry opaque, so you're not going to see the black underneath, and that allows me to get the really cool color effect and not have to worry about the black underneath showing. The black looks really nice with that really cool splatter effect, but I wanted to add a little bit more color because I like color, so I went ahead and used the Nouveau drops, plus it adds just that little bit of extra interest and dimension. So I hope this video has inspired you to create some really fun, beautiful cards with the Hello Lovely stamp set from Concord and 9th. Or even try out some other halftone stamps. There are a variety of halftone stamps that are on the market right now that are very popular. I'll have a few of them over at my blog, so you can go ahead and check them out if you're interested in this style of stamp. It's really fun to be able to use these to create some really cool effects. And also make sure you head on over to my blog to get more details about the blog hop and enter into the giveaway so that you can go ahead and have a chance to win this card, and then you can go ahead and send it on to someone that you know. And again, all the details for how the blog hop works are on my blog as well. So if you enjoyed this video, here are 2 more that you might like, featuring fun stamping techniques. Please give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and visit me on social media at Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest. Thanks for watching. I will see you again soon. Bye!